Hey guys, welcome to another Investor Spotlight here at the REI Funding Partners channel. We're so excited to be in Decatur, Alabama with Casey with Decatur Home Buyers and
Decatur House Buyers.
Decatur House Buyers. We met a couple years ago, actually at a real estate meetup in Birmingham, Alabama. You were working for a different company, real estate investing company out of Birmingham, and then you've transitioned and now you are all over the place, especially in Decatur. Now you're a full-time investor. So
Yes.
Casey, tell us a little bit about yourself and the audience about what you do and your little investing journey.
So we moved here 4 years ago, this month, actually this week, from South Florida. And I got a job. You know, that was the big thing, is I wanted to be in real estate when I left Florida. I didn't know anything about Alabama. I didn't know anything about Huntsville. I read an article in 2021 on Facebook when I was working from home.
Yeah.
That was it. And
Yeah.
It was like one of the most educated cities in the country. And it took me 6 months to get my wife to agree to go.
Yeah.
She was really mad for a long time. And so we moved here 4 years ago. I worked for an investor as an acquisitions agent. I knew nothing about real estate except for we had always done well personally.
Yeah.
We had always found good deals. And so I just figured, you know, I'd learn how to do real estate in Alabama. I'd meet people, go to network events, things like that. And then maybe buy a house here and there once a year, something like that. After about 6 months of being here, I told my wife that she needs to quit her job and become a realtor. And she said, why? And I said, because no offense to realtors, there are some of you that are really great. None of them would answer their calls if their house was under 300 grand. They wouldn't show me houses. My wife also is bilingual, so that's like super important. She didn't think it was, but being from Chicago and South Florida, it's big there, but it's not a rarity. Here it's a rarity.
Yeah, that, and then real quick what you just said, like I feel that on a personal level. The realtors, it's like there is a huge difference between the top performers. There's a reason why they're top performers. It's like they answer the phone, they hustle, they get after it, and then there's a huge gap of just meh. So if you can,
if it's not easy, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's not worth $1,000 commission.
So
you know,
especially her being bilingual, that's huge. And so
So it took a few months. She eventually quit. Was taking realtor classes. That's why she quit. It was hard to do full-time work. She was working in Huntsville, realtors classes in Huntsville. At the time, our daughter was 2, and it was hard. So I said, just quit your job. The same time I was acquisitions, I was losing out on houses to another couple of investors. And basically they would buy a house, take the same picture that the wholesaler or seller, homeowner, had on Facebook or MLS, and turn around the next week and put it out on Facebook. And I said, how are you doing this? How are you buying houses for 100 grand, doing minimal or no work, selling for like 160? And they said, well, we have a mentorship, and if you want to learn, you're going to have to pay for it. And so it took a few months to convince her again. So, because, you know, I feel like we'll never do it unless we pay for it.
That's right.
Like I hate to say that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're in our 40s, you know what I mean? We're not 22 years old. We have responsibilities. So we did that. She had just quit her job. She said, are you nuts? Like, what are you doing? She made the money back by the end of the year. You know, I was working full time, but I was helping her at nights on the weekends. Our first year full-time investing, and she was a realtor, we made, I think we purchased 5 and we kept 3.
Okay.
And that was 2023.
Yeah. And
I was still working a full-time job, so everything was like nights and weekends.
Right.
Nothing to interfere with what I was doing.
Right.
And then February of 2024, just 2 years ago, I can't believe we're 2026.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Things happen in the company, and, you know, new people come in and things. So I just said, this isn't for me. I'd already had it in my head to quit by December, and I quit. And we bought 11 houses that year.
Yeah.
Last year we bought 11. And each of those years I also helped wholesale or, buy and sell quickly. I don't know, 4 or 5 each of those years.
Yeah.
She's an agent. She still has that business. So basically, I took over the properties and everything else, and she just does her stuff as an agent for clients, myself.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
I appreciate you sharing that. And a couple things there for everybody listening. If you go and get educated and then you take action and implement that, you're going to be successful, just like you guys were. And so now you made that shift. Now you're full time.
Yes. 2 years.
2 years, and you're rocking and rolling. You're active on social media. I see it. You are well known in the Decatur area for North Alabama, buying, selling.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier off camera. So this house particularly, which we'll do a walkthrough in a minute, but your aim is to kind of do a seller finance option, but you're open to renting.
Yes.
You're open to selling. You've got it rehab, but the main point is adaptability, because we talked about the market. The market's different. It's slower. Doesn't mean it's bad. There's a different avenue to make money, and so you can't be just set on one exit strategy.
Right.
So kind of talk about maybe how you've evolved and what you're doing here.
Well, that first year was a learning curve. We were stuck on seller financing in 2023 and got some bad appraisals and ended up getting a few houses towards the end where I'm like, oh, we got to keep down payments into the loan, or we got to keep another 20 grand. And so it ended up being where we should have flipped some more and been a little bit more cash rich, because we came in when the market was changing and it wasn't easy to flip anymore.
Yeah.
That's when we started all of it. So looking back, we learned, from that year that we need to flip a little bit more. We need cash injections coming in, more than a down payment from seller financing. Our goal was to cash flow what I quit at my job, plus any commission she was making selling houses as a buyer's agent for that company.
Yeah.
Which we did like around a year ago. We were pretty much at that point. So then it was like, okay, we're still paying our bills, living our life, paying for daycare, whatever it is that we need to do in life, go on vacations. So now let's start doing other stuff. So we did a flip last year here in Decatur, and we ended up keeping it as a furnished rental. So right now our mortgage is like $1,450 on that one, and $350 roughly in monthly bills with like utilities and everything.
Yeah.
We have somebody in it for $3,000 a month.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's the cheapest house in one of the nicest neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So after everything,
Yeah.
I think we're into it like 182, and it appraised at like 260.
Yeah. So look at it. It's like just by doing something different, like realizing you need to, hey, we need to do something different. Now you're cash flowing on it.
And that's a house I want to keep.
Exactly.
And like my daughter's 5 now, and she loves it. She gets annoyed that we can't go visit it now.
Yeah.
So I always tell her, like, in 13 years, that's your first house.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a house that will always have value.
And she's learning along the way. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Oh, we have videos of her. Oh, maybe you should use this tile, and maybe you should do this, and paint this from this. And so she's picking up things.
Yeah.
Even the lingo.
That's what's so special about real estate. It's that tangible asset, especially if you have a family, that you can fairly easily teach someone in a young person, the ropes, and like get them involved and see them coming over. Same thing with my kids. So that's awesome to hear. So as the people listening, adaptability, learning and growing, and not, one way may have worked one year, market changes and there's a different. So with this one, being a full-time investor, you have obviously access to a lot of different capital lenders out there. I know particularly on this deal, you used a different lender that like backed out at the last second, and you called. I'm thankful you called. Thank you. And we came in and we're like, of course we can do this. And so the kind of like, not just, hey, REI Funding came in and did this, but more importantly, like the value of having different people,
relationships,
like exactly relationships,
pivoting. Right now we have long-term loans with a bank in Coleman, a national lender that's DSCR lender. We're closing another one with a different national lender, and then another Southeastern bank. We're closing a second refi this next week with them.
Yeah.
And all of the last two have been mainly because the other lender kind of, thought they were it.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you're not. So, and they've called me a lot the last couple of weeks saying, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I have, 3 under contract right now and 2 more waiting on probate.
Yeah.
So we have 5 more coming quickly, and I don't have any interest in giving it to them, which is what you have to do. You have to look out for your business first.
That's right.
You got to make sure you keep your credit score good. I know they say that doesn't matter, but it does if you're refinancing. It does. And I see that, I think, with some of the flippers. And I don't know their credit. I'm not saying their credit score. I'm just saying in general, they get stuck on numbers only work for flipping. And you're stuck.
We have seen that. We talked about adaptability earlier. We've seen that as a lender perspective.
Yeah.
Especially as a private money, hard money lender, credit's not the end all be all. But hey, we're telling because we look out for our customers, value driven. So we're going, hey, we know you're flipping this. If your credit's not great, you need to be thinking about getting another partner with you just in case.
Yes.
Hey, you flip it, it's sitting there, you can't sell it, you need to refinance. Most DSCR lenders are like minimum 640. It used to be 600, 620.
They're getting stricter.
They are getting way stricter, and so it's not that the lender is trying to be the bad person. It's like, you need to focus on your credit no matter what. Just for multiple extra strategies.
They're getting burned.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I lived through the recession in 2008. I lost a house personally, long before I was in real estate. And what I saw when I went to try to get a mortgage with my wife later, she wasn't on that first loan. So a few years later, I had excellent credit, but I had a foreclosure. So I had to wait 3 years. She had horrible credit because she grew up in Section 8 in Chicago. She just grew up not paying her bills.
Yeah.
Not saying that in a bad way. It's just she didn't know any different.
Yeah.
I don't have $200 to pay AT&T. I'll close that and go with Verizon. And that AT&T bill's still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was something that she had to learn quickly, and I think that's a big reason we like to seller finance too. Because we were there.
Yeah.
I had the good credit. I couldn't get a mortgage, and I was a bartender. So I couldn't get, a mortgage. I took home $60,000 a year cash. I couldn't get a mortgage.
Seller finance is a great option. I'm glad you hit on that, because explain for the audience out there, kind of just briefly, what seller finance is, because hey, you've used short-term capital to buy this. Then what would you do? I guess explain it for everybody listening.
Basically, we do the BRRRR method, what you would do with a regular rental. A lot of times, I'm doing that before we even have an end buyer, because I know I can rent the house for X amount of dollars. I'm still going to make sure my mortgage is covered. Usually it's 1.2% is what most DSCR wants. So if I'm all in at $1,000 a month, rent has to be $1,200 a month. So basically, we're going to do the BRRRR method. I will find a buyer. We have a pretty good reputation in Decatur. We have some of the Hispanic pastors. I know they send people to us. People trust us, which is a big deal. And so we will basically provide terms like a mortgage to them. We have a loan with our bank, and then we will hold the loan for them. And make sure that there's a certain percentage or a certain monthly spread, just in case, and we always run the risk. We don't do credit checks like a bank will. We don't do background checks. So we run a risk of getting a house back that's, messed up. But you also do that as a landlord.
That's right.
So for us, it's instant cash flow, and usually a pretty decent down payment.
And no maintenance there.
No maintenance.
So it's like you're carrying a note and you are charging them different terms, and usually you're going to make a spread just like you would cash flow wise on a rental, but it's a great exit strategy. And so, okay, to kind of wrap up this part of the video, as people are watching, you have a great investing journey of, okay, doing one thing, moving to a different state, getting educated, working, going to a full-time investor. As you look back on that journey, what would be one piece of advice that you could give the audience that's starting out? That's like, because I'm looking at you and I'm going, anybody watching can do it. You just have to take action. But
That's really what I would say is take a chance, get educated. I actually, as it started 3 years ago with 5 local women, we have females in real estate. It's all local women generally. I mean, some are out-of-state investors that invest locally. Some are national like mentors that will put in their podcasts and things like that to help people. We have 350 women locally now.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, and I can see it kind of, I think when life starts getting overwhelming for a lot of those women, I start seeing like attendance down, interaction down, and they usually at school time, school starts, Christmas, things like that. Stay consistent, stay focused, ask questions. I went to every meetup I could for the first 6 months when I moved here because I didn't know anybody in Alabama. No knock on my previous employer, but they didn't send out marketing. They didn't do any of that. They said, you're in Huntsville, good luck. Go buy houses. And it was one of the hottest markets in the country at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody sent me a house for 120 grand, I offered 100 because that's what the number said. Somebody bought it for 150.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I supposed to do this? So, be involved, make it a mission and priority to be involved. Learn from different people doing different things. This piece of land that we were talking about it earlier. This house we included, it's three parcels. This was 2 of them that we included with this property, and then we own the 1.5 acres next door, and we could do an RV park if we wanted to. I just don't have the mental capacity right now. But that's kind of on the docket to possibly do an RV park or rent it out to food trucks. So I can rent it out to food trucks $500-600 a month, and it just cash flow, and I have no maintenance.
That's awesome. Well, the future looks bright for you, Casey, and we appreciate the advice. Take action, get educated, but network. Like your network is your net worth. It's so key. So, all right. Well, this wraps it up for this portion of the video. Stay tuned. Casey's going to walk us through the property real quick and show you guys what's going on. Hey guys, welcome back. We're outside the house that Casey just did here in Decatur, Alabama. She's going to walk us through and just walk y'all through the property, and she's going to tell us what she did. So tell us how you found this deal real quick.
A realtor, his family owned it. It's actually, the 1.3 acres with these 2 parcels and then the other 1.5 acres.
Okay.
He wanted a quick close, no gains, cash deal. He's a realtor. He could have listed it, but they were living here and moving into their own personal house, and he just wanted to get it done and not put it on the market. Basically, the mom, I believe he has power of attorney, so the mom was, in their own apartment, elderly, and he just wanted the money for his mom and make sure she's comfortable at the end of, towards the end of her life. Yeah.
So what I hear about in that is like, he was a realtor himself, so he could have listed it, but he knew you already in the area. I assume it was off market, and he's weighing his options, and he's going, okay, I know Casey's over here. She'll buy it as is. And he gave you a call because he knew you, so that's, it's about who you know. So
exactly.
Kind of tell us, it's a 3-2, right?
Yes, 3-2.
All right.
3-2. So we just did a cosmetic rehab to this. Total, we're about $25,000 into it. So we fixed up the deck a little bit, and obviously exterior paint. Everything was done, slightly above rental grade quality. The back side, we did a back deck and replaced some of the windows that were broken. Just life happens, tree branch, whatever it ends up happening. So cleaned up the yard a little bit, and
Again, and like as we walk in the house here, like it's important that you mention rental grade. Like, your area, your market. We talked earlier in the video that, hey, you're most likely going to seller finance this.
Right.
It doesn't have to be just like absolutely gorgeous. It needs to be a safe, clean house, and that's what you're doing here. So now you, in case you need to rent it later, it's not like you over rehabbed it or anything like that.
And given where we're at, this is a little bit more of a commercial industrial area. So one of our exit strategies that we talked about previously is a furnished rental for people that are traveling in and out of those manufacturing plants. We have the ULA across the street that builds rockets. So you have people, scientists, engineers coming in and out for a few months at a time. It is an easy place to do that, and since it's in the county, you have an ability to do different things with the land. So that was a big part of it for us.
That's awesome. So you mentioned like 25K rehab, and you closed on this property not too long ago. And I was just like talking with dinner. It's been like you kind of came in here, it's like 2 months at the most.
Which is funny because I feel like it dragged.
It feel like it dragged. That's the full-time investor coming out of you. You're like 2 months is not short enough.
No. Well, what we did first too, and part of it was my own thing. I went in with the floors first, which is not what you're supposed to do. But I had seller finance buyers that were interested. So I said, let's just do the floors, and we had it, seller finance much cheaper. And so I believe I closed this like the 10th or 14th of November. Something like that.
So we're not even 2 months.
No. By Thanksgiving, I kind of had it out there as they were doing the floors. And by Thanksgiving, we went out of town, so I kind of took it off market because by then I already had a contractor that was going to come in and start painting. So they started, I think, around December 1st. They started painting, doing the trim, just very cosmetic things, the light fixtures, things like that, fix holes in the wall. So it was a very light cosmetic. But we made sure it's nice enough for a first home. But also there's certain things that I had to learn as an investor, maybe coming from where I used to work. They did everything, all new flooring, all new this, and I thought that's how you had to do it. And it took me about 1.5 years to realize I could keep this flooring for a rental. Why replace it and spend, an extra $3,000 for no reason? So what we did was we redid the flooring in the 2 bedrooms over here, the tile in the kitchen and the bathroom, and that's it. Laundry room. That's it. So we kept this flooring that we're in the living room, and then in the main bedroom we kept that flooring. Is it flooring that I would normally pick? No.
But
however, it's usable.
It's usable, exactly. It's not carpet, and like especially if you're going to hold it long term. And then 2 months, as we're filming this video, it's January 8th. I know it doesn't look like it because we're like in t-shirts and in Alabama. And then they're like 3 days from now it'll be 30 degrees. But okay, so we got a bedroom right here and bathroom in here. So you spent your money on tile for the bathroom to bring the value. So easy. So
very light fixtures. The exterior was a big deal. The house was yellow and many shades of yellow before, so you could not miss it. And we actually had this paint left over from one of our Airbnb projects.
There you go.
The one we did was in historic Decatur area, and we wanted that historic craftsman look. So we had an extra 5 gallons. So I went and bought a few extra gallons, and we used the paint.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll kind of pan over here. So bathroom in there, and then hallway bathroom with 2 bedrooms on this wing of the house. Same good just flooring. So perfect. So you had a seller finance kind of lined up. So what's now kind of your strategy as you look at this one?
We are going to get it deep cleaned this weekend, and I have a great cleaner that will come in and make sure all of this is clean. Just take everything off, everything, all the windows, everything. And since I'm married to a realtor, she's gonna put it on the market at what we have it for seller financing. And I'm open to bank loans, cash. I'm open to selling all 3 acres.
Yeah.
You know, I'll seller finance all 3 acres. So we just kind of, that's part of the reason we haven't done RV park or anything yet either. Because like I said, I don't know if it's going to be sold.
Right.
So I'm not going to start my brain doing that.
That's right. That's right.
But the important things that we like to do, even with seller finance houses, are making sure this, you know, the sewer, to our knowledge, is good. We want people to flush toilets. And sometimes we don't even have the utilities on for some houses. So we will have issues, you know, when somebody moves in. And that's almost always the first month or two, we get a call and say, we're having issues with our sewer, or whatever it is. And that's kind of something that we make sure we take care of, because I feel like that's a necessity. 6 months from now, that's not my problem. But just to live in the house right away, somebody's given me, you know, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. I'm not going to make them call a plumber for $3,000.
That's an excellent piece of advice. If you're doing seller finance, and it's like, be an ethical, moral person. And if you're offering, you know, an asset to this individual, like, make sure that the mechanical components, sewer, HVAC is like taken care of. That's great.
Yeah, definitely. And actually the seller here has been very helpful. HVAC, you mentioned. When he sold it to me, he said, you know, it's still under warranty. There's an issue with like one of the heating components. So we've had issues on and off. They keep sending people out. He's still in contact with me, saying I will keep helping you until the warranty's done. So if it's like 2 more years from now and there's an issue, we'll still make sure that it's taken care of by warranty. Which now it seems that they've gotten it fixed. I don't have the heat on today because
it's okay. 70 degrees.
But speaking of the sewer and septic, we did have the septic cleaned out, and we got it all clear that it's very serviceable and operating. And to me, that's, you know, because the septic could be $40,000. So that was part of my you know, as is contract with the seller. Usually involves termites and septic. I mean, sewers, I usually kind of figure there's problems if it's an old house. But definitely septic and termites are kind of my, like, do not buy. Unless it's a really good deal.
No, that's another good piece of advice. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I know you've got a family, so it means a lot to us as we kind of travel, that you showed us around, and we appreciate the opportunity to lend on it. And so then, you know, you sharing advice to the audience. It's what we do this channel for. These are real life scenarios with a real life person, not a hedge fund in New York that's buying up properties. This is a local person creating opportunities for local people and creating wealth herself. And so we appreciate you, Casey.
Thank you, guys.
It's been awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.